Pole basics. Starting in a star, this is a two-step as we sweep the leg around and step around that pole, gluing the hip to the pole and gently releasing down, sliding into a back slide, holding on with that inside arm. Take your time to open the legs to a leg splay, which will help you to come up to your knees, tucking under your toes, a little peekaboo, and let the tail lead the way up. Let's break it down. Soft in your knees, a little weight on your toes, reaching high to the pole, stepping around the pole. Here's your star, holding on, stepping around, and relaxing. That is a two-step. Let's try it on the other side, from a star, holding on, and stepping around the pole. It's a great transition from one side to the other side. Take your time as you really get used to these two steps. We can continue the two-step around and step through so that we're going the same way on the two-step. Gently take it into a backslide if you're feeling daring. An open leg splay will help you to come to your knees, toes, and tail. In this two-step, you must remember it's one step, two steps. So as soon as one comes down, the other comes up. Then glue the hip to the inside of the pole and gently just lay back. Take your time to swirl all the way down if you would like. An open leg splay, coming up, knees, toes, peekaboo, and let the tail lead the way up. Let's go the other side. Star, stepping around like a two-step, holding onto the pole with the inside arm, gluing at the hip, and just lean back to take a breath. You can slide down the pole, bending your knees if you want to go all the way. But don't try this straight away. This takes time. A leg splay will help you to come up through your knees, tuck under your toes, a little peekaboo, and come on up. Stepping around the pole in your two-step, gluing the hip and just taking a breath is just as good. Eventually you will slide down that pole. Open the legs to a leg splay, knees, tuck under the toes, and come on up with the tail. Take your time to practice this a couple of times, swirling from one side to the other. Two-step into a back slide. You don't have to go all the way if you don't want to. Just take a breath and come on up. If you want to, a leg splay will help you come to the knees, toes, peekaboo, and tail. Take your time. The butterfly. We're going to wrap one foot around to the front of the pole. We're going to bring the back leg into the back of the pole. Try not to cross your feet. You will get stuck. So one foot in front and one foot behind. This comes into our butterfly. Take your time to really feel this movement. Let the hip lead the way up as you step out of it, swirling the hips around to the side. Let's try this again. One foot in front and one foot behind. Lean the head away from the direction you're going as you swirl around into your butterfly. It's very fun. Obviously, the more you practice, the more freedom you will feel. Let the head swirl you around as you get a little momentum, one foot in front and one foot behind. Don't forget to point your toes. Even if you're not wearing shoes, you always want to point your toes. Let's try this again. Swirling and stepping around into your butterfly and letting the hips sweep the way up. Try it on the other side. One foot in front, one foot behind as you swirl down the pole and gently release into a backslide if you would like. Take your time. Open a leg splay, come up to your knees, tuck under your toes, a little peekaboo, and the tail leads the way up. See if you can come into a little underarm pirouette where you swirl the body around, stepping back into a two-step and a little leg play as you come back around to a two-step the other side and down into your backslide. Take your time. You can bring the legs to the side of the pole, bringing up one foot, then the other foot, and then let the tail lead the way up. Let's come in to an Aphrodite, where we hook the inside knee. We're going to lean into that leg as we swirl around to that side. Take your time. flipping the legs up and over, coming onto your knees, toes and tail. Let's try this again with a little wiggle to begin, stepping around the pole, hooking the inside leg and swinging into your Aphrodite, leaving the other leg behind the pole to help you stay centered. Flipping out the legs, take your time to scooch down and gently come on up into a Goddess Diva Rising. Let's scooch back with the tail and roll up into a camel. Taking your time to really press the hips forward and roll the energy up through the crown of the head. Let's reverse, scooching the tail down as we press back and away from the pole. Freedom of movement. Let's hook the outside leg and see if we can lean a little back and see if we can find the center of our balance of the supporting leg, letting go with the hands. Let's try the other side. Leaning a little back and a little forward, let go with the hands, seeing if we can hold on with just the foot. Let's try to bend the body over from the side to the front into a forward hang. Take your time to switch to the other side, hooking with the foot, the inside of that leg, and rolling the body over. Take a breath. We're going to come into a little free movement of the hips as they swirl around, making little baby circles if you'd like. A little bit of free movement, figure 8, holding onto the pole. Let the head go, let the hips go, and get a little groovy. Have fun. Pole dancing's all about freedom of movement. Holding on, but letting go. Have a little fun. Walking around the pole as you free dance, just feeling beautiful. Swirling around with a little hip movement, stepping the feet out, and then walking around the other way. Walks are a great way to gain momentum and a great way to feel free. Keep breathing. Let's swirl back into a little hip movement. You can bring the hip movement down to the floor and camel up if you'd like. Swirling around in those hips. Let's come to a little booty shake where we switch the energy from one knee to the other knee, shaking the booty. Keep breathing. We can slide the hands down if you'd like, bending down and doing some hip circles low to the ground. And taking your time to hip circle, gently see if you can come on up into a camel. Have a little fun. I love watching everyone's personality come out when they pole dance. There's no right or wrong way. Just freedom of movement, feeling beautiful, feeling sexy, and having fun. Coming to pole ups. We're going to grab the pole around with the hands, gently bend the knees, and lower slowly to the ground. Take your time to come up 1 foot at a time and a camel up. Grab the pole, lift a little higher if you'd like, extend the legs straight out in front of you to get a little more abdominal strength. Swinging one leg at a time around, tuck under the toes, and camel up. Stay lifted on 3/4 toe and really engage the core abdominals. As we lift up and gently lower to the floor. 1 foot at a time and camel up. This is great pole practice. Lifting the body up and gently, slowly lowering to the floor. Take your time to swirl the body up. Trying it again. Wrapping the arms around, lifting the body up, elongating the legs, 1 foot on top of the other, and gently lowering to the floor, finding the core strength in the center of your body. 1 foot around, other foot, and swirl it up. Sasha is leaning to the side. You can see how she slides down. Coming to the butterfly swirl. You just lay back holding onto the pole and gently, slowly control it down as you lower down to the floor, hip leading the way up. Pole pirouette. One arm is up and you swirl underneath that arm. In the beginning, you can keep your hand down low or bring it up higher for more advanced. You can swirl around in these pole pirouettes, stepping underneath the arm. Keep breathing as you try these pirouettes. The more you practice, the faster they will become. Stepping with the feet, remembering to point your toes. Here's how you can put a pole pirouette into a little bit of free movement. Taking your time. Pole dancing's all about going smooth, going slow, and feeling beautiful. Just remember to breathe. Here's a little routine of me free dancing to show you a little bit of the advanced stuff which is soon to come to video. The butterfly swirl coming up to the climb. Laying back, bringing the arms around and seeing if you can let go into the angel swirl. Pole dancing's all about going slowly, so don't rush into any of these moves. This is an angel fall, where the legs cross to a number 4 and you lay back. Please don't try these until you are really strong on the inner thigh and the core abdominals. I hold onto the pole, swirl my hips to one side and open the legs to a leg splay, hooking the inside knee and coming to a one-leg angel hang. This is an advanced move, so please don't try this until you are completely ready. We do break down all this aerial pole dance with mats underneath us, so please don't try these at home. This is just a little taste of some of the more advanced videos soon to come. Remember, this is all just body conditioning. Don't try to compete or perform. It's not what Goddess is about. It's just about moving our bodies in this way to stay in shape and to feel beautiful. Because when we feel beautiful, guess what? We look beautiful.